Hi guys, welcome back to a new video on the channel. Now this is the review of the Championship games over the weekend. There were some very interesting scores and some outcomes. Obviously my prediction table is looking 100% wrong as Nottingham Forest drew with Sheffield Wednesday rather than winning. But we are going to go through the results and I'll talk a little bit about how I feel about them. You'll notice already the scores are there, but then we'll know the results already because I don't, like I say, yet know how just to get it up one by one yet. So as you see at the top there, the first one is Fulham 0, Brentford 2. I think this is a really positive result for Brentford. I did say in my prediction video that I thought Nottingham Forest possibly could catch West Brom or Leeds. It's now looking more like Brentford or Fulham. I'm not saying that they will get caught. I certainly think that, obviously I'll come on to the other team's results in a minute, but there were like blips and that. But I do think that Brentford have shown this season they're getting stronger, they're harder to beat, home and away, and that's a really positive result for them, with Fulham being third, that they're chasing them, and, again, I'm not saying they can get second or first, but if West Brom and Leeds' form continues to drop, then they're in prime position to take full advantage of that. The next game, as you can see, Middlesbrough 0, Swansea City 3. I think this for Middlesbrough is a disastrous result. Again, on the form of relegation, it doesn't look good. You can argue it's the first game, but I watched the highlights and Middlesbrough did not look good at all. Swansea are looking strong. They're in that batch of teams that Reading have dropped out of now that are in contention for that playoff spot, and yeah, they'll give it a very good go. And Swansea do look good for them, for their lead. Millwall 2, Derby County 3. Now, all this was about the Derby County youngster, Sibley, I believe his name is, and he was superb. And Derby look like they've got a real gem on their hands there. Millwall looked strong too. I still think that Millwall will contest for the playoffs, obviously, and Derby have put themselves right in contention. We play Derby away on Saturday. Predictions for that will come during the week. But they are a really strong side, and Derby County could easily be that side that's going to... I mean, a lot of teams are going to be disappointed and not make the playoffs, but I think that sixth spot is pretty much up for grabs for a cluster of teams. Another of those teams is Blackburn Rovers, and as you can see there, Blackburn Rovers 3, Bristol City 1, nearly said Barnsley. I think the Blackburn, again, they've had a really good lockdown. They've got some of their players back. They looked fresh, they looked entertaining, and a very strong performance against Bristol City and a good win. Bristol City worry me a little bit. They didn't look themselves, but again, that could come in time. Not many games to make the mistakes, obviously, that are left. There's about 8 left now. So, yeah, Blackburn definitely could be an outside chance for making those playoffs. Huddersfield Town 0, Wigan Athletic 2. Now, Wigan, again, I think in my prediction video I had them to go down, but they've kind of proved me wrong there. It's a really solid 2-0 win away from home. They're on good form. They're a good side, and it looks like they may well, if they get a few more results like that, they will be safe. Huddersfield Town, unfortunately, like Middlesbrough, with wins that I'm coming on to for other teams, it hasn't been a good weekend for them, and they have sneaked closer to that relegation zone themselves. Hull City 0, Charlton Athletic 1. That's one of the results I'm talking about. Hull City, again, they've just dropped a little bit, so they'll be concerned. They've got a lot of players out that don't want to play. There's a lot of trouble at the club, so that hasn't helped. And for Charlton, that is a huge win to help, push them away. So what you need to do in these last 8 games, if you're in that bottom 7, 8 teams, you really need results. And Reading will drop into that as well, and I'll come on to us in a minute. Luton Town 1, Preston North End 1. Now that is a fantastic result for Luton. It really is. I mean, Preston North End are a very strong side. They're riding high in the league. They're looking again at getting into the playoffs, going for promotion, and Luton have done fantastically well there in their battle for survival, and that's a really solid point. Yeah, I did say that Luton would be one of the other sides going down, but fair play to them. It's a great result for them. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Barnsley 1. Now my Barnsley to survive predictions looking pretty good after that one, but that's just one win. It's a good win for Barnsley. It's a solid result. Worry for QPR. I think they're like us. They're just about safe. I mean, they'd have to have a really disastrous run to not go down. Sorry, to not go stay up even. Get my words right. But I think it's like I said, it's a poor result for QPR, but it is only one result, so you can always move on from that. But like I said, for Barnsley, it's a wonderful win and 3 valuable points. So we move on to Reading versus Stoke. Now, I'm bitterly disappointed with a point from this game. We did everything to win the game. We took the lead very early on. But then, unlike us, we sort of sat back. Although we did have chances and we did create a lot of chances, Stoke didn't seem to be at the races. But they've got away with a point, which they'll be delighted with. They didn't look brilliant. I worry for them against the better teams, because obviously there are better teams in the league than us. So I worry for Stoke on that front. But no, this is what we do. Sometimes we'll play great football, we'll get a really positive result, but then we'll take the lead and it'll look good, and then you're sitting there, can we hold out for 1-0, and bang, the equaliser comes in. And as the manager said, players are going to be spoken to, because they were all expecting Moore and Morrison to do the defending rather than defend themselves, and that's cost us. So, and looking at the goal back, if certain players had gone for certain other players and gone for the ball, then there is a small chance, maybe the goal could have been avoided. But it is what it is. 8 games to go, still plenty of points to play for. But as I stated, in my preview video, we're not going for the playoffs. Our season's done. We're just trying to finish in a respectable position. But obviously, the other thing you've got to take into consideration, if we don't pick up points, we are going to get, like Middlesbrough, like other teams, Hull and that, we're going to get dragged into it. So it's a point not getting too angry or annoyed, or more disappointed that we've let a lead slip the way we have. So moving on to Sheffield Wednesday versus Nottingham Forest. And this is where my prediction table goes out the window, because obviously I had Forest to win every game. And they drew 1-1. It was a 1-1 draw. Sheffield Wednesday, again, for they're sort of really in our position, where they're in that mid-table, but they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not really going to get sucked into the relegation battle. So a positive start for them to the season. They beat us at the Medeski, but it hasn't really carried on from there. For Nottingham Forest, this is a little bit of a blow to their top 2 ambitions. It's a big blow to their top 2 ambitions. Okay, the fact that results did go their way helps a little bit, but they would have wanted something else from the game. So the last game is West Bromwich Albion 0, Birmingham City 0. It's an interesting result. I think that for West Brom not scoring, it's a little bit of a worry going forward. But it's a point, as I'll come on to, obviously, other teams didn't get the points they needed. So for West Brom, it's a point better than nothing. It just creeps them towards what they need. So it's looking more and more likely they'll be back in the Premier League. Moving on to Sunday, and that one shocking result of the weekend, Cardiff City 2, Leeds United 0. I watched the game and I wasn't impressed with Leeds. But what do you put that down to? Because Leeds have been playing superb this season. Like I've said in many of my other videos, they've been by far the best team in the Championship. But full credit to Cardiff City. They made Leeds look ordinary, and that takes a lot of doing. Despite all the banter that goes around about Leeds, which I haven't joined in with because I won't. Cardiff made them look flat, really, or as other people would say, a piece of paper. But look, it is what it is. It's not the best result for Leeds, but then they'll go again. Obviously, we've got the preview coming up with the predictions for the weekend games. I'll do them on Thursday, I believe. And then obviously, we've got the Premier League predictions coming up as well. So guys, thank you for watching this shortish video about the Championship. What I'm looking at doing, like I say, is I'm going to get the prediction videos back this week. Probably tomorrow or later on tonight. I'll get those out, and then you guys can ridicule me for those predictions. And obviously there'll be a championship predictions video as well. Next week, obviously it's the League One playoffs. So again, I'll be doing a bit like I've done for the League Two. I'll be doing a individual video for them. So if you haven't already gone and checked out the League Two playoff video, then please do. The games, from when I'm recording it, the games are kicking off in about half an hour between Exeter City and Colchester United. So go and check that out if you're not doing anything as well. Go and watch that live. Other than that, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. See you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.